session is on Kiradi and culture and our carbon dating artifacts. Sowmiya, as you all know, is the author of book, The Dig. Her recent book has been very popular among the journalists. All of us, most of us love it actually. Congratulations, Sowmiya, for the book. And our Balakrishnan sir doesn't need any introduction. Researcher, author, and he can talk, he can converse more on Indus Valley than anybody else. So straight to the question, sir. So this question is to both of you. In the last 5 years, Tamil Nadu has done a lot of digging. But we have massive museums and the state has allocated more than 5 crore for archaeology. So do you think we should be taking pride in doing this?
Very much. I feel, before answering this question, I want to frame certain things. Tamil Nadu is a place where the past is used as a launch pad for the future. It's not just a past. It has got a lot of meaning. So that means the pride has got something to do with it because you feel secured in the past and then you don't fear the future. So more than any other place, Tamil Nadu has understood very well. That is the reason I consider this kind of excavation, more and more archaeological excavation, and more museums and the kind of thing. It's a rather nice investment. I consider. I will elaborate that point. I think Sowmiya will add to that. But then how a specific case study, I will talk to you about it. Probably Sowmiya will.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me here. Definitely think it's a point of great pride. Also that we haven't really understood South India. If you look at our textbooks from the time when I was young and what I'd studied, it's a lot more North India focused. So with these excavations, it sort of brings together a certain understanding of the region in which we call home. And Kiladi, like Sir said, is a launch pad, but it led to so many more excavations. So now our idea of the past is much more rich. And we're working very hard at connecting the dots as to how these sites also link to each other. So I think that's a big plus that has come about, which leads to our understanding of who we are.
Yes, Sowmiya, as you made it, like in your book, The Dig, you don't mention just about Kiladi. You've mentioned about the other archaeological sites also, not just about Madurai. So do you think the archaeological excavations in Kiladi actually changed the perspective across India? And do you think this is the need of the hour?
Definitely. I think we have had a very skewed understanding of history, and even the funds towards excavations, if you look at more broadly in the country, have gone to a certain sort of look at Indus Valley sites, because we were trying to figure out in the first, years after independence, trying to find those Harappan sites on the Indian side of the border. So in that sense, big parts of the country have been ignored in terms of excavations, and I think now these really feed into our understanding of specific regions in the country that have previously been sort of said, okay, we'll get to it later, and we've finally gotten to it.
Next question is to you. I'm taking it from Sowmiya to you. So the archaeological excavations have been caught in a lot of controversy and also in politics. The politics of archaeology is getting bigger. We have seen a lot of news reports that come from the center, that come from the state, and also a lot of debates that go on. So what do you have to say? Is archaeology caught in between politics and policy?
No, there is a battle for the past. Is an existential reality. And you would find that the past is basically a narrative. Actually, history is not a rocket science. History is basically a narrative. But it has to be built on evidence. So we have been taught in our collective consciousness, a lot of stories about the past have been put into our head. But then people like us, we want this to be evidence-based. And then one such important development is Tamil Nadu archaeology. Not just a Kiladi, it started probably Adichanallur excavation in 1904, probably was the first organized excavation in India. That means in the Neolithic site or that kind of period. But it was not taken, nobody attended to that. Then 1924 Indus Valley Civilization. So now the Kilidi report is a lot of controversy. It's got into political kind of thing. But what people like me insisting that the Kilidi report, much water has flown after the Amarnath thing. So now it's already 10 session has already been over. But we are demanding that Amarnath Ramakrishnan's report should be published along with the objection raised. If you have any objection, you put that in annexer and put it to the public domain. Let the people read both and come to their own conclusion. But then it's how much water has flown into in the river of Vaigai after Amarnath's inquiry. Now already 10 excavations are over. There is an excellent museum also is there.
But you have done a lot of research on Indus Valley civilization. The hypothesis is that the inhabitants of the Indus Valley civilization migrated down south. So you have done extensive research on names in the Indus Valley civilization that sound similar to those in South Tamil Nadu actually. So, but recent carbon dating of artifacts from Tamil Nadu shows that Indus Valley civilization and Tamil settlements might have existed simultaneously. So what do you have to say?
It's a very easy way of looking at things. The issues are not exactly that. It is a more simplified version. Some people try to put the bronze versus iron, and then Kilidi versus Sivagalai versus Indus Valley. This is not a fact. I will rather take the little time, because in fact I initially pointed out that I will have a case study. I would like to place before you a small case study in brief, the case study of the cotton. Okay, I will, instead of starting in the Indus Valley, I will start from Tirupur. Okay, Tirupur, the industry, knitwear and cotton industry today, the size of the industry is a 70,000 crore. Out of that, 40,000 crore goes to the export. 30,000 crore is an export market, domestic market. Will you know that there is one literature in India, is classical literature, which talks about cotton so elaborately, cotton cultivation, cotton fiber, how to make the thread. The women dedicated themselves for the cotton industry. They are called Parithi Pendi. I don't think that an equivalent word has been coined any language anywhere in the world. They are called cotton women. They make their livelihood out of cotton, even if there is no men in the family to breadwinner. That means they are called Alil Pendir Talil Seida Parithi. That means their families without the men. The women on their own, they live on their own, and cotton is the root. So now I told about the Sangam literature. Now goes to Kilidi. You will find an evidence in Kilidi for the spindle work, thread making, yarn making, and making the coloring of the textile. Everything connected with the textile industry, you get an evidence in the archaeological site. Then goes to the Indus Valley. Indus Valley is considered to be the birthplace of cotton. In Meherkar onwards, cotton. It's a far ahead of time. So I take this as a case study. It is not about whether it's a coexisting one after another. We are talking about the urban civilization. We are talking about the metal civilization. For me, it's one and the same, because I am insisting on the continuity rather than the chronology. So it doesn't make me much of a difference for me. I am trying to underscore Indus Valley civilization. If it is got a software, the software for the Indus Valley hardware is a Sangam literature. In the Sangam literature is a software. The Kilidi, like Sivagalai, Kilidi, Adichanallur is the hardware. The hardware of the Kilidi and the Indus Valley will match. For both, there is only software available is the reading of Sangam literature. If you don't read Sangam literature, you cannot understand neither Kilidi nor Indus. That's what my point.
So he has a different perspective, Sowmiya. But did this kick off a Dravidian-Aryan war because of the politics that we have been talking about for a long time? So actually, did that argument kick off Dravidian versus Aryan war in the recent past?
I think, unfortunately, in India, it always comes down to the same debate. Even if whether we understand it well or not, this is what we argue over. And I think we are framing it differently. If you look at the North, they are not even acknowledging there was such a thing called Aryans coming into the subcontinent, right? for them, they're even trying to make the Harappans into a Vedic civilization. So I think the idea is to, when you're looking at these, at least from a journalistic perspective, my idea was to say, first let's understand the facts before narratives take over these larger conversations. But if a good example of this debate is the Indian internet. I think all our history reduces to this: you are this, I am that, you are a Dravidian, or you must be an Aryan, without fully understanding that migration has really been part of how, like Sir pointed out, it's a continuity, right? People have moved, people have sort of mingled and created beautiful sort of cultural exchanges. Artifacts coming out of Kilidi point to that. There's been a lot of trade in the region. A lot of things have moved around. The Romans came knocking to trade with the Tamils. So it really should be a larger debate than just these sort of binaries. And I think that's something that we should push for.
But the binary, I just like to insist that more than binary, the very central philosophy of Tamil civilization is, I don't think that Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir, a statement which says that all the places are my village, all people are my kith and kin. Such a statement cannot come from the lips of anybody who has not traveled, who has not understood the world, who has lived a civilizational understanding. So that means it is a very, very broader outlook. That is the reason we are talking about a rainforest pluralism. I have a feeling Tamils and the Tamil society, Tamil civilization has got an extra responsibility. Because right now you must be knowing that if you go to the museum, you find a John Marshall statue. People are asking that why John Marshall statue kept in Chennai? The answer is that because nobody else would like to celebrate him. And Tamil Nadu has got a right and duty to celebrate John Marshall because he changed the narrative. It is not to say a bravado, one upmanship. It is about the pursuit for the truth. And then Tamil Nadu Chief Minister announcing $1 million if you decipher, not this way or that way, you convince the scholars, and then you take $1 million. Then people ask, why such an announcement come from Tamil Nadu? Recently, you just look at it, Sagitya Academy, awards were not decided but not announced. But then Tamil Nadu comes and tells that 5 classical languages, we will give 5 lakh each. So why Tamil Nadu is putting investment? Why putting its money? That means because Tamil Nadu has got a civilizational duty. Tamil Nadu has got a civilizational claim. So you have to blame like that only, behave like that only. That is the reason I call what Tamil Nadu is doing in this archaeology and rereading the literature, rereading the history, I consider this an investment because Tamil Nadu and Tamils use past as a launch pad for the future because they don't fear their past and that is the reason they don't feel fear about the future.
Very nice, very well articulated, sir. I have a question that is linked to your answer. Of late or in the recent past, our Chief Minister has been saying that India's history will have to be rewritten from the south, particularly from Tamil Nadu. So is that argument right?
Yeah, the question, provided you understand that statement and understand the question in a proper perspective. That means history is always, you look at history, and what was, to get an answer for it, what has been written and handed down as a history to us. The history before 1924, everybody talked about a Vedic civilization only. The whole civilizational thing started from the Vedic. 1924, that notion changed. After that, people talk about the Nanda dynasty, Maurya dynasty, Gupta dynasty, then Harsha, and then as a subset, South Indian history, Chera, Chola, Pandyan will be taught. There was a huge grievance because people behave as if the South does not even exist. Whereas the Tamil Nadu has got such a legacy, such as archaeological wealth. So now, if you go to understand Indus Valley and Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, that could be understand better only from the Kilidi. I am telling you for example, because I have visited most of the site. I have spent 30 years in researching Indus Valley civilization and the South Sangam literature. There is a dice, a cubic dice found in Lothal and Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, found in Lothal in Gujarat, and found in Kilidi, and written in Sangam literature. Sangam literature talks about getting 10 numbers. When you are playing with the 2 dice, if somebody is getting a 10 number, she is getting a maximum happy. So that means, what is that 10 number? Nobody could understand, the commentators. Till we are explaining the Sangam literature, that means the dice is not rectangular. It is a cubic dice. Only in cubic dice, you will get 6 plus 4, 10, 5 plus 5, 10. So only literature in India which talks about a dice play where the 10 can be obtained. Patturuvam Petran Manambol Nandiyal. In Sangam literature, it talks about getting 10 number. There is no other literature. It is found in Gujarat, which I call as a Dravidian Gujarat. I call Maharashtra as a Dravidian Maharashtra. Again found in Harappan, Mohenjo-daro, where a literature, an ancient literature, a kind of a artifact from the Harappan Indus civilization, an artifact from the Kiladi, standing together and shaking hand. That is happening only here. That is the reason the history has to be viewed from south. It is not necessarily that you have to find something anterior to the Harappan, Mohenjo-daro or Megarhar, but whose point of view? The history can be understood from the point of view of the who knows, who has got a claim, who has got an understanding, who has got a stake. I don't think anybody bothered except government, in government of India. Common man is not bothered about the Saraswati civilization. Only Tamils are having a sleepless. Let me tell you, after Kiladi, I think Sowmiya will bail me out that this is an author. After Kiladi, lot of people have taken Adan as their name for the children somewhere living in America, coming and taking a sand in Kiladi and taking, and then giving a name Adan. Why name Adan? Adan is written in the pottery, in Kiladi, written in Sivagalai. And it's the name of a poet, Nalla Adanar. It's the name of a king, Seral Adan. So Adan as a name is running through the blood, running through the DNA, running through the collective memory. So that is the reason the stake is felt in South. That is the reason Chief Minister is making a statement. History has to be written or understood or viewed from the South point of view.
You have explained it as a scientific goal, but I want to hear from Sowmiya. Like, it is understood as a political goal, but Balakrishnan explains that there is a scientific goal to the Chief Minister saying it as the history has to be rewritten from the South. So,
no, I think it's both. It doesn't have to be, and I think Tamil Nadu is doing such a good job of using science as a way of revealing what these finds are, right? You're not just narrative building. You're saying that I have sent these artifacts, I have dated them in a reputed lab, and I'm telling you the date for it. So that allows a certain sort of credibility to the finds. You're not just talking in the air. It's a sort of the process-driven scientific method, which is what archaeology is. The basis of archaeology is to sort of spend time, rigor, patience, science to try and understand our past. Of course, once a statement like that is made and how it's interpreted amongst us who are proud of where we come from, that's a different thing. I think you and I can interpret it the way we want, but the basis of those finds are purely scientific. Having the Chief Minister announce it could be seen as a political sort of move, but it is also a point of pride that such a result has come about in this region.
Actually, it is so unfortunate that because a stakeholding Chief Minister makes an announcement, people immediately make that's a political statement. Then how do you say that people talk about a Saraswati civilization, then Agastya has been brought to the center stage? What is all about? So that means, at least here the narrative is evidence-based. I will take one example, Lakshmi, so that to prove that the statement, which is politically being understood or being scientifically told, are not contradicting at all. It's mutually, basically helping each other to understand. I take an example. Recently, Chief Minister released one book, the graffiti markers in the pottery. The graffiti, 15,000 pottery in Tamil Nadu contains the graffiti. These graffiti markers are tallying with the Indus graffiti 60%. Is there any other place where the graffiti, other than the black and red ware pottery, the graffiti is written? Whether a single graffiti has it been written in the painted grey ware in the upper Gangetic Valley? So if it is tally only with the Tamil Nadu artifacts, 80% is found only in Tamil Nadu, he is justified in making a statement, history has to be viewed from south, but I consider that to be a scientific statement because Tamil Nadu is the only state which is investing more in the archaeological excavation more than the entire India put together. Tamil Nadu is the only state which has brought out the book, the Antiquity of Iron, the graffiti, and the scientific dating, all is being done scientifically. That is the reason we really love it and like it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sowmiya.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Being with us this evening.
Thank you very much for this invite.